Dre, I know obviously we'll talk about your role with the NBA, but NBA PA. But I'm interested to know your idea and what the vision is for NBA basketball on the continent of Africa.
Yeah, well, it's some interesting developments have happened there recently. I know the head of NBA Africa just stepped down, and so Africa is one of those. I have to speak different now with the role I have. Evan has allowed me the ability to really express myself, and he hates it when I'm PC. But I think he's starting to understand, the power of the voice, and that's why I love him next to me because he can just speak. But Africa, historically, not like the last 10, 20 years, I'm talking about history of humanity, in terms of they have, 70-80% of the world's resources, and then how it's been taken advantage of, the human capital, how that's been taken advantage of. I was just listening to a speech not too long ago, like how old is Nigeria in terms of the actual nation? In the 60s?
Yeah, I think it's like 70s.
70s,
now,
right?
Yeah, still a relatively young country. Yeah.
Very, very, very young.
Naja boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Naja boys are here.
Yes.
Jollof rice for lunch.
And yes, my father is Nigerian, Benin City, Ado. And Africa is one of the few, it's a continent broken up, but it's really, we look at it as a country, us as African Americans. Like, I think of Africa, I don't think of it as countries. I think of it as a bunch of states, but it should be a country. And we're going to talk about group economics. Imagine if Africa had one currency. But now I can get in trouble if I say that. But just understanding that, the complexities of Africa, even Nigeria, 270 million people, the oil comes from there. I had a great understanding of Nigeria when I went 2019, and the oil that comes from Africa, but they have no refineries. And so they export their oil and then they buy back gas because they don't have refineries, but they can build the infrastructure with their wealth. But that let me know everything I needed to know in terms of, I know exactly what's going on. And so with NBA Africa, we're seeing a lot of talent come from Africa. Pascal Siakam, Giannis is Nigerian, Joel Embiid. We got MVPs now. And the interesting thing is, they might get mad at me, but there's NBA Africa, there's NBA China, right? Yeah. But the players, we only participate in the revenue from NBA America. And so there's some things that need to be worked on from that perspective. But that's something that's like near and dear to me. So my eyes are constantly on it. I sat on the board of a publicly traded company that was based in Africa, and we had talks in terms of like sponsoring the NBA Africa team. And then a lot of players are involved. Luau Deng, close friend of mine, not close enough, but I look up to him in terms of like what he's been able to build, the portfolio he's been able to build, what he's done with. What team did he have? They made the Olympics. Sudan.
I think it's South Sudan.
Yeah.
Man,
Royal Ivy.
We had Royal Ivy, who was my teammate here. He was the head coach. He's doing some amazing things. Basketball without borders. Yeah. We have a lot of players that participated in that as kids in the NBA. And so we're seeing, we talk about building pipelines, right? We're talking about giving out jobs. And just controlling, or not controlling, but raising your talent. And so it's on my radar, and we've been having a lot of conversations in terms of like how do you own a part of the business that you are the reason why the business exists, and athletes have never been able to participate in the value increase of NBA teams. You talk about ghost or phantom shares. I've had some interesting conversations about that. I like y'all. Y'all making me reveal a whole lot.